Happy morning to you all. Blue Stars Higher Secondary School welcomes you all to learn the Concord. Concord is nothing but subject-verb agreement. It's an agreement between subject and verb. When you write a sentence, you must make sure that the subject and the verb agree. Subject-verb agreement is the correspondence of a verb with its subject in person and number. The basic rule states that a single subject takes a singular verb when a plural subject takes a plural verb. Always plural, where we are using after people, police, cattle, a number of, a group of. Always be a plural, we are using when subject has two nouns joined by and. For example, Meena and her friends. We are using always plural for the words few, many, several, both, all, some. And then we are always using plural for some terms: scissors, tweezers, trousers, shorts, jeans, glasses. We are always using singular after the terms one of, a kind of, a type of. Always singular for the units of measurement and mathematical expressions. Always singular when the subject has two singular nouns joined by R. For example, my brother or my sister. Nouns connected with some of the terms each of, each one, either of, neither of, someone, something, anybody, anything, no one, nothing, everybody, everything. Always using singular after the names of subjects like mathematics, politics, civics, economics, physics, etc. Look at this board. He is, I am, we are, she is, they are, you are, it is. So this is the agreement between the singular and the plural. Subject and verb. Now we are going to learn the rules. This is the first rule. Subjects and verbs must agree in number. This is the cornerstone rule that forms the background of the concept. Example, the dog growls when he is angry. The dogs growl when they are angry. So you just see here, in the first sentence, subject is singular. That's why we are using singular verb there. In the second sentence, the subject is plural. That's why we have to use plural verb there. Remember this, when you match subjects and verbs, you might guess that growls is a plural verb because it ends in s. It isn't. Growls is a singular verb. This is inversely applicable to the plural verb growl. Next rule. One of the eggs is broken. For this rule, the number of the subject, singular or plural, is not changed by words that come between the subject and the verb. Example, one of the eggs is broken. So, they have entered the word eggs. By seeing the word eggs itself, we will come to the point what it is plural. The subject is plural like that. But of the eggs is a prepositional phrase. The subject one and the verb is are both singular. Mentally omit the prepositional phrase to make the subject verb agreement easier to make. Next rule. If a sentence begins with there or here, do not mistake there or here for the subject. Find the real subject and make the verb agree with it. Here you just see there the examples. There is a problem with the balance sheet. So, there is not the subject here. The balance sheet is the subject. So, we have to use the balance sheet, the subject. So, we have to give the singular verb is. Like the same second sentence, here are the papers you requested. So, which one is the subject here? Yes, papers. That's why we are using plural verb are. Next rule. Make the verb in a question agree with its subject. To be sure, turn the question into a statement. Example. Has Garcia eaten dinner? Garcia has eaten dinner. Simple questions can be answered by yes or no. When faced with a simple question, put the auxiliary verb before the subject. Thus, it should agree with the noun or pronoun that follows. Next rule. Use a plural verb with compound subjects joined by and. A subject with two or more parts is said to be compound, and if the parts are connected by and, then the subject is nearly always plural. So, example, the teacher and the students are listening to the principal. So, both the two subjects are joined by the word and. That's why we have to use it as a plural subject. So, we have to write the plural verb here. Which is the plural verb? Are. Which is the plural subject? Teacher and the students. In the second sentence, cats and dogs make her sneeze. Here both are. That means what we want to write? Plural subject, plural verb. Next rule. With compound subjects connected by either or neither, make the verb agree with the part of the subject nearer the verb. Example. Neither the table nor the chairs are new. Example. Tea, coffee, soft drinks or beer is his usual drink. In a compound subject joined by either or neither nor, and not only but also, the verb must agree with the part closer to it. Next rule. A few indefinite pronouns, all, any, some are singular or plural, depending on the word they refer to. Example, all of the books were lost. So, count noun. Count noun means what? We can count the books. That's why we are using here the plural verb. And the non-count or mass noun, all of the jewelry. The jewelry is a non-count one. That's why we are using here the singular verb. Next rule. Collective nouns. Example, assembly, committee, faculty, herd, etc. are singular in form but plural in sense. For purposes of agreement, collective nouns can be singular or plural. Depending on how they are used in a sentence, collective nouns used as one unit take a singular verb. Collective nouns that indicate many units take a plural verb. The singular subject jury requires a singular verb returns The members of the jury are working together as one unit. Next rule. Uncountable nouns, furniture, money, equipment, etc. do not have plural form and are always singular. For example, the broken equipment was sold to the junkyard. Nouns not ordinarily countable are mass nouns or abstract nouns as opposed to concrete nouns, as they are singular, that is milk, jewelry, soap, etc. Next rule, the phrase the number or one of is followed by a plural noun and a singular verb. However, with a number of use a plural verb. For example, the number of drug dependents is increasing. Next rule, with an ing verb form used as a noun subject, that is gerund. Ing verb means gerund. Always use a singular verb. Swimming is my favorite sport. So, we have to take this gerund as a subject noun. We have to use singular verb here. So, for the gerund swimming, we are using is in the first sentence. And then the second sentence, caking of the cake. It is also taken as a subject noun. So, we are using singular verb is here. A special form used as a noun is the gerund. It is made by adding ing to a verb. It is treated as a singular. Next rule. Watchman by Alan Moore is a good comic book. Controlled substances is another term for illegal drugs. So, what are they? The titles of works and words mentioned as words are singular. So, it's a title. That's why it is given as a singular one. So, what we are using here? Singular verbs we are using for the titles and words. Titles of books, movies, etc. are singular even if they are plural in form. Words mentioned as words are singular. Again, the examples. Watchmen by Alan Moore. This is the topic of the book. So, for the title of this book, they have given the singular verb is. Yes, it's a good comic book. The second sentence, controlled substances is another term for illegal drugs. It's a term, it's a word. Controlled substances is a word. That's why we are using here a singular verb is. Next rule. Quantity noun words, few, less, much, more, most, many, can be used alone or used to modify a noun. They may be singular or plural depending on the word they refer to. Some qualifiers can only go with countable nouns, many, several, both, few, etc. How many? It's a plural. While some can only go with uncountable nouns, much, little, less, bit. So, how much is the singular? And others can be used with both, none, some, plenty. For example, one of my sister give me this chocolate. A few of his friends are my enemies. Next rule. If a sentence compounds a positive and a negative subject and one is plural, the other is singular, the verb should agree with the positive subject. Example, it's not punks wear hairstyles, but the music that delivers the subculture's message. It's punk attitude and not the weight loss which makes it appealing. So we have to use this is the music is the subject here. For the music we are using the verb delivers. It's a singular verb. In the second sentence, punk attitude is the subject. For that itself we have used the singular verb makes. Next rule. When the sentence begins not with the subject but with a phrase preceding the verb still agrees with the subject which follows it. Example, down the street walks Emily. Through the mist follows Robin. So, here in the first sentence, Emily is the subject, walks is the verb. In the second sentence, Robert is the subject and then follows is the verb. Next rule. Demonstrative adjectives such as this, that, these, those and relative pronouns such as who, which, that must agree in number with the noun or pronouns they modify. Like most pronouns are relative pronouns who, which, that have antecedents. Nouns are pronouns that they refer to and must agree. For example, the book that Laladi wrote was a bestseller. Next rule. Possessive pronouns mine, his, ours, yours can refer to both singular and plural antecedents. The antecedent determines whether the verb is singular or plural. For example, the boy visits his mother. His mother is sick, but mine is well. Personal pronouns have two possessive forms. One precedes a noun, possessive adjective, and describes the thing to which the noun refers to like an adjective, while the other is used independently, possessive pronoun. Next rule. Next rule. Words stating amounts of time, money, measurement, etc. are usually singular. Phrases involving addition, multiplication, subtraction and division of numbers preferably take the singular. Example, 10 pounds was all the box could hold. Plural nouns describing a mass, a quantity or a number require a singular verb when the subject is regarded as a unit. Sums, products, differences and quotients of mathematical processes are also expressed as singular. Next one. These are all the examples. Underline the correct verb in these sentences. Rekha and her sisters dash television every day. So, we have to take the word after the and. So, we have to use watch because sisters is the plural noun. That's why we are using singular plural verb. Then second one, Ravi doesn't like sports. Ravi is a singular, that's why we are using singular verb. My classmates study before a test. Classmates is a plural noun, so we are using plural verb. One of the cookies is missing. So we have to use after the term one of, the singular verb. A lady with 10 cats. Here we want to take the lady itself. A lady with 10 cats lives in that big house. Measles is very serious. Measles is a term used for mention a disease. Measles is very serious. The committee decides when to adjourn. The committee is a collective noun, so we are using here the singular verb. Our team is the best. So this is also a collective noun. Everybody enjoys a good song. Either of these is suitable. Correct the following passage. Where does the deer and the antelope play? One place is Yellowstone National Park. It were created in 1872. Parts of the park is in Wyoming, Montana and Idaho. The park are a safe place for many animals. Bears, moose, buffalo, deer and antelope lives there. Beavers, otters, fish and eagles also enjoys the park. For them, Yellowstone be home sweet home. Now we are going to correct the wrong verbs. Where do the deer and the antelope? So wherever we are using the word "un," we have to consider it as a plural noun. So we have to use plural verb. Then one place is given there, but we have to show the place is Yellowstone National Park. It was created. That park was created. So park is the singular. That's why we want to use the singular verb was. And then parts of park. Parts of park is the plural noun. That's why we want to use the plural verb are. The park or a safe place. The park is a singular noun. That's why we want to use singular verb is. Then the list given here: bears, moose, buffalo, deer and antelope live there. Beavers, otters, fish and eagles also enjoy the park. So it's a list which contains more words. So we have to consider it as the plural noun. That's why we want to use the plural verb here, live and enjoy. For them, Yellowstone be home sweet home. Yellowstone is home sweet home. Now we are going to fill the blanks. Manoj was present along with his parents. Each of these boys has passed. Neither Lekha nor Leela has been selected. Every man, woman and child was happy. One of the machines is defective. A number of books are missing. Sekhar or his brothers have done it. To make a promise and then not to keep it is dishonesty. One or the other of those men lodged a complaint. Each leaf and each flower stripped off the tree. So each leaf and each flower was stripped off the tree. Identify the errors in each of the following sentences and rewrite them correctly. Either Shyam or Ram have to pay the fine. Either Shyam or Ram has to pay the fine. Abdul as well as Karim deserve prize. Abdul as well as Karim deserves prize. 10,000 rupees a month or an insufficient income. 10,000 rupees a month is an insufficient income. Many a student were awarded at the function. Many a student was awarded at the function. Neither Veena nor her sisters has been informed of the accident. Neither Veena nor her sisters have been informed of the accident. Mitra as well as her daughters enjoy singing. Mitra as well as her daughters enjoys singing. You, who is my friend, should help me. You, who are my friend, should help me. My scissors is missing. My scissors are missing. A variety of pleasing objects charm the eye. A variety of pleasing objects charms the eye. 60 miles are a long distance. 60 miles is a long distance. Now, extra exercise. To take pay and then not to do work is dishonest. The cost of all these articles has risen. The jury are divided is their opinions. That night every one of the boat's crew was down with fever. That night every one of the boat's crew was down with fever. One or the other of those fellows has stolen the watch. The strain of all the difficulties and vexations and the anxieties was more than he could bear. No news is good news. The accountant and the cashier have absconded. A good man and useful citizen has passed away. The famous juggler and conjurers is too unwell to perform. The Three Musketeers was written by Dumas. Each of the suspected men was arrested. The ebb and flow of the tides was explained by Newton. 90 rupees is too much for this bag. The cow as well as the horse eats grass. Neither his father nor his mother is alive. There are many objections to plan. 2 times of the city is in ruins. The formation of paragraphs is very important. Man's happiness or misery is in a great measure in his own hands. Thank you. Thank you, students.